100% fair, Stephen A. All right, guys, we always talk about quarterbacks ad nauseum, but pass rushers are very critical to successful teams in the NFL as well. So all eyes will be on Penn State sackmaster Abdul Carter. And if you ask the Philly native Carter, he's pretty confident he knows where he's going in the draft. Listen up, fellas.
What about your Philly roots? And if you did play in New York, what would that be like?
That'd be dope, but obviously, once I go to New York, I'm all New York. I'm going to have to leave Philly behind, so we'll see.
What does Philly mean to you?
It means everything. It's where I come from, my roots. That's where my family's from, so yeah, it means a lot.
Once I go to New York. So obviously the Giants are picking number 3, so that means they would be passing up on grabbing a quarterback. So Marcus, here's what I want to know from you. Is a pass rusher in the NFL more important than a quarterback?
No, not more important than a quarterback, but they are a close tie with how important a left tackle is, or
you lying?
A guy that's going to protect the quarterback. Here's the thing, Molly. I will say this: like there is 2 ways to win defensively. Either you get after the quarterback or you got a phenomenal secondary that can stop these guys now that throw the ball 40, 50 times, where you can at least take the ball away a couple times, or you have good enough guys out on an island that can play man-to-man and you can get creative with your defense. Here's my thing, man, and I know the talk is about Travis Hunter, and I'm telling you right now, I am in love with Travis Hunter's ability. I love what he does. If I'm Cleveland, I got a hard thought about taking Abdul Carter in this draft, because what that would form with Myles Garrett on the other side would be terrifying for teams. And I think about that division that Cleveland plays in. You got to get after Joe Burrow. You got to have guys with speed and the ability to pressure a Lamar Jackson. You got to be able to do those things. I'm not mentioning Pittsburgh because I'm not worried about Mason Rudolph. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback there. So I don't think this decision is as easy. And I know the general manager, Andrew Berry, has talked about how much he loves Travis Hunter. But if you want Travis Hunter to come over and play wide receiver, and you are going to put him at your number 1 guy, I'm not betting on that more than I'm betting on a pass rusher that I know can give me 10.5 to 12 a year on the upper side from the best pass rusher in the NFL.
I love you. You're out of your mind on this and stuck in old time. Who led the NFL in sacks last year? Give me the name of the person who led the NFL in sacks.
Trey Hendrickson.
Okay, how was their defense?
Awful.
Yeah, terrible. Okay, so listen, edge rush matters. He's not nearly as important as a quarterback or a left tackle. And I would tell you, I don't think edge rusher, from an offensive perspective, is nearly as important as interior guy or coverage. The best defense in the NFL last year was the Philadelphia Eagles. Best defense in the NFL. Their best player was Jayden Carter. The second best defense in the NFL, and this is all points per game, Los Angeles Chargers. The best part of their defense was their coverage. The third best defense in the NFL last year, points per game, was Denver. They had the defensive player of the year, Patrick Surtain, coverage guy. The fourth best defense in the NFL was the Kansas City Chiefs. Chris Jones, interior pass rusher. The fifth best was Minnesota, all about coverage. Sixth best, Green Bay, all about coverage. You got to get all the way down to, I think, like the 9th best defense when it comes to Pittsburgh and TJ Watt. And so while edge rusher matters, it's not like it was 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Interior is so much more important. Coverage is so much more important than
hold on, Swag.
Don't do that in the vacuum.
Hold on, Swag. Let me throw a left turn here for y'all, because we understand that the quarterback position is the most important. We just had to make sure it was confirmation, because edge rushers are something that's being talked about all the time over the last few years as we really zone in on the NFL. Here's my question to the both of you. If you're a good quarterback and you're a team who desperately needs a quarterback, do you pass up on that to take an elite edge rusher? Or do you take the edge?
No.
Or do you
take a quarterback.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? In other words, the quarterback in the draft isn't as elite as the edge rusher, but you're a team who desperately needs a quarterback. Because look at Cleveland, number 2 pick. They've got a lot of pieces in Cleveland. What's been the problem? They have a quarterback. When they had a speck of a quarterback in Joe Flacco, who came off his couch, they still got to the playoffs. They got pieces in Cleveland.
Yep.
The problem is they don't have a quarterback. So nobody has come to y'all and asked y'all a question. If you're a good quarterback with potential, but you're an elite edge rusher, if you're a team who needs a quarterback, what do? Do you take the quarterback or do you take the best player? Which happens to be the edge rusher.
Stephen A., I know what you're getting at. I know what you're getting at. You referencing Shador. I know what you're getting at. Or either Jackson Dart, because Jackson Dart has gained a lot of momentum. Here's what I'll say to that, Stephen A. The Cleveland Browns don't feel like Shador or Jackson Dart is good enough to take over either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. I don't think that Shador should go second or third in this draft. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I understand the value of the position, and that's why I said sometimes these guys get elevated, these quarterbacks, because they literally have QB by their name on their draft card. And they get drafted over guys that are better positional guys, but either team need or you think that these guys can supplant what these other dudes will do from a production standpoint. Stephen A., please let me get back to Dan, because Dan trying to be slick. He trying to do this in a vacuum. First of all, Travis Hunter has said he want to play wide receiver. A wide receiver ain't gonna help Cleveland Brown and they ass get any better. That's not gonna help them.
What?
All right. So if he was saying he want to play, bro, Travis Hunter has not been a full-time wide receiver in his life. And you gonna be an NFL franchise to bet on him being your number one wide receiver day one, and you still have questions at quarterback? So you would rather that than to put. Yes. And then you talked about the defenses. No, you talk not me. I'll say not me. Then you talked about the defense. Abdul Carter is an additive. Do you know that the Cleveland Browns has an all-pro cornerback in Denzel Ward already? Do you know that they have arguably the best defensive outside rusher in the league? This is not like those defenses you mentioned. Abdul Carter is walking into a situation with a good secondary, a Hall of Fame defensive end on the other side of him, and he walks into a situation where he potentially can get one-on-ones all year with a good coverage behind him. So don't talk about that.
You're going to win games 10-9. You're going to win 10 games 9. Okay. So first of all, I'll be
if you get Travis Hunter and put him at wide receiver, how many wins do you think that's going to accumulate with no quarterback?
More than an edge rusher. If you're Cleveland, I've been very clear. Cleveland, take Travis Hunter. That's not any shade at Abdul Carter. Take Travis Hunter. You play him both ways. You start him at wide receiver, and he's absolutely going to play like a number one. Marcus, this dude's tape is off the charts. He's going to be an absolute freakazoid, okay? Here's my thing with the quarterback. If you take the quarterback or the good rusher thing, Marcus, we got to stop looking at the drafting the quarterback early as a death to franchises. This is not like 2005 anymore when we were giving these quarterbacks, when you drafted them top 5, $100 million, and it was going to cripple your franchise. It is far more damning to pay a free agent a gajillion dollars at that position and miss than it is to draft I think teams should draft quarterbacks more. I think if you're the New York Giants and you draft a quarterback early this year in the first round and you don't like him in 2 years, draft another one in 2 years. If I was the Saints and I drafted a guy at 9 and he just plans out to be okay, I'd draft another one. At least we're taking shots at that position in the draft. It doesn't cripple your organization anymore, okay?